This is Sparta!
So I recently released an update for my game and it somehow had 4 times more players than release. How is that even possible? But every time I scroll through my comments, every single one of them is still asking me to add VR support to my game. And I wasn't really planning on adding it until I saw this comment right here that said that even the most unscary, terribly designed, and poorly made games can suddenly become masterpieces in VR. So I decided that it might not be such a bad idea after all to add it to my game. Now the problem is that I've never made a VR game before, and unlike a normal game where the worst the bug can do is crash the game and make players restart, a VR game can give people something called motion sickness. Now I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure that you can literally die from motion sickness, so I need to be extra careful with how I add it to my game. So the way most people tell you to prevent motion sickness is by letting the player teleport to nearby locations, but I think it'd be pretty weird to see your teammates just teleporting around the map in multiplayer. So instead, I added an option to snap your rotation, which helps prevent motion sickness and as an added bonus, gives the game a little extra scare factor. So in VR mode, not only can you flex on everyone just by having a $5,000 GPU and $2,000 headset needed to even play the game in the first place, but you can also literally flex on people in-game because I added hyper-realistic physics-based arms with advanced inverse kinematic technology and AI-powered hand tracking, which definitely helps increase the immersion and allows you to do a lot of things that normal players can't, like being able to bend over and use bug spray between your legs, tactically blocking the flashlight with your own hand, and probably the most overpowered one, being able to pet the hounds. So hopefully I won't have to nerf these if they cause too much of an advantage.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I fit it up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see.
So after setting up all the interactables, menus, items, and other systems, I can confidently say that you cannot die from motion sickness, because if you could, then I'd probably be in the emergency room right now. Now I'd recommend setting the game to either medium or low graphics unless you have a $10,000 PC, and it's meant to be played in a clear area with enough space around you, preferably alone in a dark basement without any human interaction for years on end for the best immersion. And make sure your wrist straps stay on at all times and you aren't trying to play it using a 10-year-old Chromebook, or you probably won't have a very fun time. Now I know most of you guys probably don't have a VR headset, so I can't just leave it at that and call it the new game of the year, so I'm gonna have to add some more levels and entities. So the first new level I'm gonna add is level 7, also known as thalassophobia, which means the fear of the ocean. Now I know what you're probably thinking. What kind of a person is afraid of the ocean? But I'm not talking about that kind of ocean. I'm talking about this kind of ocean. So level 7 is a class 4 unsafe level and resembles an impossibly large ocean that seems to infinitely stretch in all directions. Despite the absence of a fixed light source, a dim natural light is present across the entire level. Detailed exploration of the ocean is sparse due to the extreme danger, and the level only contains one room known as the entrance room, which is fully furnished and can be used as a home base for those who dare to explore the ocean. So I started off by throwing in this ocean and then slowly modeled out the entrance room that you spawn in and added a few boats that you could use to explore the map. Now it'd be pretty boring if you were just rowing around in a boat for hours on end, so I'm gonna add the entity in this level known as the Thing in level 7, which is a huge fish-like entity that lurks in the deep ocean and is very aggressive and very rare to appear. It can swallow an entire human being whole and is more likely to attack the longer you spend in the ocean. So I got this model and made it slowly stalk you, and if it chases you for long enough, then it'll start swimming towards you, so make sure you're constantly going from house to house and don't spend too much time in the ocean. Now the way you escape this level is by finding an entrance to a cave, and I hate to break it to you, but you aren't going to find one on the surface. You'll need to find scuba diving gear laying around the map and dive all the way to the bottom of the ocean to find the cave. And be sure to stay still if you see any dangers so it can't see your movement or you'll be fish food. So before I add the next level, which might be the scariest one so far, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe or a hound will no clip into your room. And we just hit 500,000 subs, which is insane, so I thought I'd thank you guys with something special, so I'm gonna do a face reveal. So here it is. This is what the guy in the hazmat suit's face looks like. His name is Rupert and he's a 67-year-old man from Ohio. So next time you're laughing at the animations with your friends, just remember that there's an actual human being under that suit with arthritis and chronic back pain. So the next level I'm gonna add is...
Wait. Before you do that, have you ever considered that maybe you should return to what the backrooms are truly meant to be? Empty, liminal spaces. Now that's the real thing that makes them scary. You don't need all of these levels and monsters. It's just you.
So the next level I'm going to add is level 8, which is made up of huge caverns and small cave systems that twist and turn like normal underground systems. Many dangerous entities reside in the level, such as smilers, skin stealers, wretches, male and female death moths, and hounds. So I blocked out this cave system and replaced the cubes with different cave pieces and added some details and adjusted the lighting to give it an eerie atmosphere, and then went throughout the level and spammed a bunch of entities that'll randomly spawn in various locations, so you can't memorize the way to go. And speaking of the skin stealers in this level, so many people have been asking me to buff them since it's apparently too easy to tell who they are. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if a 2000 IQ ChatGPT powered AI was trying to convince me they're a real player, I would just rage quit if they turn into a skin stealer. But in level 8, you're not going to have that problem because unlike other levels where you can see them chasing you from across the map, these guys will be slowly lurking around the caves with flashlights. And to make it even harder, sometimes the paths will close behind your teammates and split you up. So be extremely careful and tell everyone to pull their card out immediately if you see someone. So those are all the new levels and entities I'm going to add in this video, and VR support is already in the game if you want to check it out. And this isn't meant to be a VR game, and I'm definitely not a VR developer, so it's probably going to have a lot of bugs, but don't freak out since I'll be right here to fix them up. Also, super important note, the game is called Escape the Backrooms, so make sure you double check the name before you accidentally buy the wrong game and then bully me in the comment section. Now, the new levels and entities aren't in the game yet since I don't want to just throw them in random places throughout the game without connecting them to more levels, and I want to have more of a non-linear map layout, and just adding a couple levels at a time isn't really going to help achieve that. So I'm going to wait until part 3 to add them, along with even more new levels and entities and some brand new features. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you won't miss my next video where I add them.
Bruh, I ain't got no chill.